You Fox. Brian, what's good with you, homie? I'm just waiting for my guest to pop on. The lady of the hour is in the building.
Hey, what's good?
Hey, beautiful.
How are you, love? Good to see you.
I'm doing well. Good to see you too.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
I've made very meticulous notes
Okay,
surrounding this interview because I have so
okay.
much to ask you, so much to talk to you about. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just out here breathing and believing.
You're
How
right,
about
right, right.
yourself?
I'm good. I'm maintaining, surviving.
Okay,
My heart's still
okay,
beating. Good.
okay, exactly.
So, we're not new to this. I
Mm,
interviewed you before,
yeah,
and I believe that you were a star then. I'm watching you turn into this supernova.
wow. Thank you.
Like, run me the cliff notes of back then when I interviewed you up till now. Like, what monumental things have happened to take you to this next level?
Wow, I think I had graduated from Yale. I just
Hmm.
got my master's. I was coming back and forth to Philly, I was working on my EP, um, for hire. I was working, that was my first EP.
Hmm.
Um, I was working on a mixtape like a little bit before that. And then basically, I had moved to New York. I was just focused on trying to build myself up there in terms of like doing more theater, trying to get my foot in the door, in terms of more like television and film,
Right.
voiceover work. So yeah, I've just been working. I've been grinding, So I mean, here we are now, a couple years later, and a lot has changed. The hustle and the grind, it remains the same, but the reality of my situation has changed quite a bit.
So, do you remember when I interviewed you last? Our photographer that was on set with me that was taking
Yeah,
pictures. Okay,
yeah,
every now and then, like he's so excited about you. He is so excited about you.
that's
He'll
love.
come up to me and he'll say, "I saw my girl. I was watching TV and she popped up." I was like, "That's gonna happen." I was like, "That's gonna happen." I was like, "You continue to watch TV, you're gonna continue to see her, and how
Right,
you see her is gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then so when
So
the shot came out and you're on it, he was like, "Oh my God, she's on my show." I said, "I told you she was going to get bigger."
that's
So
what's up.
eyes are watching you, sis, and we're all
Love
happy
it.
and proud to see you make moves. Seriously,
Thank you, King. I appreciate that.
absolutely. So, how have you been handling quarantine and all this coronavirus stuff?
Day by day, trying to be really present, trying to be really focused, surrendering,
Hmm.
and just allowing myself to be okay with the fact that my schedule has shifted. I mean, it's changed a bit now since the shot has come out in terms of like press and all that kind of stuff, but like the months leading up to it, a lot of opportunities that I had were either canceled or postponed, excuse me, because of Corona. Um, we'll probably get into it at some point, but I was supposed to be doing Richard II with Shakespeare in the
Hmm.
Park this summer. So
Hmm.
I was prepping to go to New York to do one of my dream jobs. I
Yeah.
love Shakespeare and to be in this role. And I was opposite Andre Holland, just another really masterful Shakespeare actor. But anyway, yeah, so that changed for me and it shifted things. And I just had to
Mhm.
be present and deal. There was nothing I could do
Right.
about it. Sometimes the Lord just says, hey, sit down,
Right.
and we'll sit you down,
Yeah.
So I've taken this time to really process just where I am, where I plan on going. Um, Working out, I had to change up my team a little bit to had a photo shoot. It was a lot of things that I was actually doing. So I tried not to get bogged down by the fact that the restrictions were placed upon us saying that we could not go out, we could not interact with one another. We can't really build a physical sense of community.
Right.
Um, I have uh, like a den in my spot, and so I essentially built, like an in-house studio, which really came in handy because once
Hmm.
we found out that Richard wasn't going to be happening in the park, another opportunity came around for it to be a lot, well, not a lot, but a broadcast for
Right.
4 days. Actually, it comes out next week. So because I had built this studio, I was prepared. I was like, oh, I could just go ahead and record, from my home. I don't have to leave the house and try to go to a studio or whatever. All the studios were shut down anyway. So,
Yeah.
um, but anyway, it's been a lot that has been going on, but most importantly, I've tried to remain very positive and just try to get things done. I cut some credit cards, got rid of some bad habits, paid off some things. I was just trying to,
Good for you.
your girl was focused.
Good for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yesterday you talked to everybody's mother or auntie in the whole world.
I
Felicia
know.
Rashad. Like, wow,
Isn't that
how was that?
crazy? It was fantastic. Quiet. It's my little puppy. It was it was fantastic. Yeah, she's everybody's mom. I mean, Miss Huxtable, like that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Um, it was really great. She is a phenomenal individual. The
Hmm.
wisdom is there, the knowledge is there, the experience is there. I learned so much just by listening to her. And
Hmm.
a lot of times when the questions were posed to me, I'm like, well, let her speak. I just want to hear what she has to say.
Hmm.
But she was just very graceful, and treated me like I was her daughter or her niece, and in the show, we don't actually have any scenes together, but she plays my aunt,
Hmm.
and she's married to my uncle who is murdered like right before the play starts, and he has just been murdered, pretty much like,
Okay.
you know, to set it up.
Right.
So anyway, we got to talk about what our experiences were having this rehearsal process via Zoom. It was about 25 actors on Zoom, at different times when we were rehearsing this project. So I mean, it was great. I'd love to work with her. I've auditioned for her before, but I ended up not getting this. This was pretty early when I came out of graduate school.
Hmm.
Um, so, she knows some of my cousins who are no longer with us, but one of my older cousins, Phyllis Hyman, and another one, Earl Hyman, so she talked about knowing them. And I mean, it was just great.
Good. Good.
She's
She like
amazing.
She's an icon. I love her and her sister. Like,
Most
love.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I never worked with Debbie Allen, but I shot an episode of Grey's Anatomy. This was maybe like a year and a half ago. And Debbie, was one of the producers, and she directs, some of the episodes and
Mhm.
everything. So she came by in her little cart, driving by with her team, and I was like, wow, that's Debbie Allen right there.
Right.
you
Right.
know. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're incredible.
Okay. So you have a lot of things going on right now, and I'm trying to compartmentalize, where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Um, how did you get to be on The Shy? Tell me about leading up to yes.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of opportunities that have come my way, I had to audition for it. So basically, my reps had contacted me with an opportunity to audition for the show. It was cast by Carmen Cuba, who had
Hmm.
recently cast me in The Laundromat, which is on Netflix with Meryl Streep. Steven Soderbergh directed that. But yeah, so I got called in. I didn't go in immediately. A lot of times Carmen likes you to send a tape in, I guess basically just to kind of test you for it up front,
Right.
like, are you right for the part, whatever. So I got about like 3 or 4 sides and I had to put myself on tape. So I did that and I was completely drawn to the character, completely drawn to the content. And I wasn't as familiar with the Shy as I probably wish I kind of was, but whatever. I had to do a lot of binge watching and everything just to really familiarize myself with it. But
Hmm.
yeah, I fell in love with the text, put myself on tape. The tape went to casting. They ended up bringing me in for it. So I had to go back in again with casting directors and, go through the material. Again, very connected. I love Dre from the first time that I saw her description and just who I was like, okay, I can rock with this. I think I can make this
Hmm.
happen.
Hmm.
And yeah, here we are into season 3, and episode 4 coming up tomorrow.
You are so damn good in that role.
Oh,
It's so
thank you.
juicy. And I
Thank
know
you.
as I like to fancy myself, small time actor. I know what it's to get material that you can sink yourself into and how
Yeah.
you use the word delicious. It gets delicious to you and you
Ooh,
can
yeah.
bring yourself into it. And I
Oh,
know that
yeah.
I can tell how you deliver it and how you resonate in it. I know that you love doing
Mm,
it.
thank
Yeah.
you. I do.
Dig it.
I'm satiated by
Mhm.
this role, every single scene. Like, I got to see some, a little bit sneaks, of the upcoming episode. And I was like, wow, this is dope, and just how the story is unfolding. And, I hope it's resonating with viewers. I think it is. So I read some of the comments, and I think people are appreciating it. And it has shifted, definitely from season 1 to season 2. But I mean, yeah, I just feel like it's going to be so impactful. At least I hope, in terms of just how people go about their day, how we interact with one another. So,
True. One of the things that I'm loving about this, first of all, one of my professional crushes is Alina Waithe. She is a professional
that's
crush. I love all of the work that she does. Anything that she puts her
what's
hands
up.
on, I gravitate toward it. And I love what she's doing this season for the show and for
Mhm.
society. She's teaching.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
chalkboard and there is the chalk and the erasers, and she's giving lessons. And I love that. And I'm
Exactly. Yeah.
part of it. So I have to ask you, that sex scene, was it
Oh,
as fun
snap.
to do as it looked?
That was the first time that I've like really had to do that. And
Really?
it was crazy because listen, that was my first day of shooting.
Wow.
That
So
was my
you had to do
first
the
day.
thing the first day. Like,
I
hi
flew
everybody,
in,
I am Miriam and let's get naked.
let's get it popping. I flew in the night before. I got to
Hmm.
Chicago and we shot in Chicago for 5 months. So I get there, I got there early evening. I want to say it was like maybe 6 o'clock. I had a meeting when I arrived. I had to go to set. I had to meet, the director, some producers. I met Tyler, who plays Nina in the show. And the next day, it was, we discussed some things. was very, lovely conversation. And yeah, the next day I show up to set and I got to get in a robe. It was really surreal. I mean, but very respectful. We make sure that we have the, proper individuals in place just to make sure everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. It's a closed
Right.
set, so it's very, very appropriate. We wanted to make it tasteful. So
Right.
that was the
And to
plan.
be honest, I've never seen a sex scene like that before. And that
Okay.
in itself was educational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And I feel
Yeah.
like one of the dope things about the season thus far is like there's like a sex scene in every episode. I don't know if people have been, I think so anyway. Um, but anyway, so you see all of these different options in terms of black love and black love making, right? And not even just black love making, but just love making. I mean, we all do it a lot of different ways. You know?
Yeah.
And it's okay, it's fine. Like, do you, but we show that it's sensual, we show that it's respectful, it's consensual, you
Mm-hmm.
know. There's the one scene in episode, I think it's two, or maybe it's three, two or three, where Jasmine, who plays Amani, she comes in with Trig, Luke James, and they see how some of these young black girls are basically being taken advantage of in this trap
Yes.
house. And so
Yes.
even in that way, it's like this shit ain't cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But even that was a teachable moment. So it's like I
Yes.
hope that people are paying attention. Like, this is real. We're
Yes.
just talking about the South Side of Chicago. We're not even talking about, all of these other communities within the country.
How about that?
So it's like Jeffrey Epstein's. They come in different colors and
How about that?
sizes and shapes.
How about
So
that?
yeah,
How about
yeah.
what else do I want to ask you about the Shy? Um, is it possible that we can hear some Robyn Hood music in the soundtrack of the Shy moving forward?
I definitely hope moving forward. You
Yeah,
already know I'm on it.
I know. I know.
You already know I'm on it. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I have this current EP that's out, which is called Alter Ego. It's on all
Whoa, whoa, wait,
platforms.
don't go there yet. I don't want to
Oh,
go
my
there yet.
bad.
We're
Oh,
gonna
my
save the
bad.
best for last. We're gonna save that
Oh,
for last.
okay, cool.
So I want to play a little game with you. I have wrote down some names,
Okay,
and I want you to give me one word answers to describe these people or a feeling that comes
okay,
from these people. Okay.
okay.
So I'm gonna start with, since you mentioned the laundromat, Meryl Streep.
Gifted.
Nanso Anozie.
Nonso Anozie. Well-rounded.
Okay. Sharon Stone.
Sexy.
Yolanda Ross.
Grounded.
Lena Waithe.
Powerful.
Mr. Jacob Lattimore.
Mogul. Young mogul.
Luke James.
Sweet.
Let's go with Alex Hibbert.
Young bull. For Philly.
Okay, Tyler Abercrombie. Tyler, excuse me, I called it Tyler. Tyler.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Whole.
And Burgundy Baker.
Feisty.
Phyllis Hyman.
Grace.
Okay. Miriam A. Hyman.
Versatile.
Got you. Got you.
Yes, yes. I
So,
love that. I was like, how
you
long
like
am I supposed to take?
that?
I'm trying to really give real answers, Yeah, for sure.
That's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned versatile, you're an accomplished musician, and you kick out tremendous art. Let's talk about this Alter Ego project.
Alter Ego.
It's
I'm
dope,
loving
man.
Alter Ego.
It's
Thank
so
you.
dope. It is so
Thank you.
dope. And
Thank
again,
you.
you use the words well-rounded. That's how I look at it. projects, well-rounded. Yeah,
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
get multiple feelings listening to it.
Mm.
Was that what you wanted to put into it? Is that where you were coming from?
You know, I just wanted it to be very real, in terms of what my experiences have been thus far, in
Hmm.
creating this music and trying to get this music out to different platforms. Being an independent artist, there are a lot of struggles and things that we have to face. Not, whether you're independent or if you're with a label. Um, as musicians, as artists, we just got a lot of shit we got to face. So
Hmm.
I wanted it to be a combination of a couple of different things. One, I collaborated with my homeboy Easto, who's also an actor. Chris Herbie Holland is his stage name, and he produced all of the beats on the
Wow.
EP. Yeah, every single track. That's all him. He's recently graduated from NYU, getting his master's in acting. I mean, he's fresh and new and just raw with it. I mean, I give him, and like I may say, hey, I want this type of beat or that type of beat, and he just delivers. He just delivers. So it was lovely to be able to collaborate with him. And then for those who have not heard the EP, there are skits, that happen in between all of the songs. And so those skits were based off of dialogues that I have had with record execs, label execs. And so of course, everything is, slightly exaggerated in terms of like the voice and all that. But I'm also a voiceover artist
Yes.
for animation and, just products. And I was talking with Easto and I was like, yo, I had this idea how I want to kind of implement this voiceover work, like within the EP. And we just got to chatting as we do and vibing off of one another. I started playing with this voice. Next thing you know, that voice became Mr. I Don't Care of Screw You Records. So a lot of people don't know that that's me
Yeah.
doing all the voices, with the exception of one when I call Easto on FaceTime and he answers the phone. So that's his voice. But
Mhm.
other than that, the secretary of Mr. I Don't Care, I play her. I play the reporter, at the end that's talking about Corona and just the state, of our country. And yeah, like I wanted each song to be kind of motivated by these conversations that I've had with these
Mhm.
execs. And so you see a shift from my most recent well, not my most recent EP is Alter Ego, but prior to that, in February, I put out Truth Teller,
Mhm.
which is 5 tracks, and I mention Alter Ego in the last song, which is Lab Rats, which Easto also produced. So it's like you're telling a story here, so everything has to make sense. It's like when you see episode 4, The Shy, it's like from beginning to end, it's like, oh, that's why and I love that. To me, that's like the best type of entertainment,
Yes.
um, the best type of reading material. I think it was Toni Morrison that said, you gotta reread like good books, you want to reread them
Yes.
and it's real and it's fresh and it's new every single time like you've never picked it up before, and I
Yeah.
like my music to be like that. The very few albums that I feel like I can just listen to back to back, and I feel like I tried to do that with Alter Ego, and I think it was successful. I mean,
Oh, no, you were. You were.
awesome,
And
thank
it
you.
possesses that quality when you're done with it, and at the end, you have questions. You have
Yeah,
questions, and then you want to go back and listen again.
well,
You
what's
did
your
that.
questions? Hit me with the
You did that.
questions.
Oh, I'm on it. I've been asking you. So, what is your creative process? Do you think of a beat? Do you think of a poem? Do you think of a rhyme? Like, how does it work for you?
You know what? It really happens in the moment, and this goes back to being present. So while I was rehearsing Richard second, I play a character named Bolingbrook, and I'm the
Mhm.
cousin of Richard. And basically, at the beginning of the play, we find out that there has been a murder. I question that murder because this is
Mhm.
my uncle Gloucester, who um, Phyllis Rashad plays the wife of this character who we never see. He's deceased.
Mhm.
Anyway, I raise a question about this murder, and because of that, I'm about to go into, I have to fight this other individual named Mowbray who's saying he had nothing to do with it. And in those times you would have a duel,
Mm-hmm.
and the goal pretty much was, it's like whoever is the one who lives after the duel is the one who was telling the truth. As I'm going into this duel, I yell out, "Mine innocence and St. George to thrive."
Mm-hmm.
I'm in rehearsal and I read that line. The EP was damn near done. It was only 7 songs. It was 7 skits and 7 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Mine innocence and St. George to thrive." Now, with the director, we had already talked about the relevance of the parallels between what's happening in our country right now, globally as well, and then what's
Mm-hmm.
happening in this play. Why are we
Yeah.
doing a Shakespeare play right now? Why is it necessary?
Right.
The cast is multicultural, but majority brown and black people. Why is that
Mm-hmm.
important for broadcast? For people to hear different voices,
Right.
doing Shakespeare. Come on,
Right.
think about it, right?
Yes.
Anyway, I say this line and I say to my director and the cast, I'm like, "Did anybody catch that?" Everybody's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Mine innocence and St. George to thrive." This man that was just murdered, that all of this upheaval has kind of happened. His name is George Floyd. Anyway, fast forward, I get the idea to write a song called Brother George. So I changed the saint to brother.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so within that song, it becomes the bonus track, and I'm recognizing, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and it kind of goes back to what I try to do with my music, which is activism. You have to activate through your art, I believe. And so
Yes.
within this song, it's saluting all of these individuals. It's literally calling out their names, and that came from me hearing that line in this play, the current time. And then Easto just has mad beats that he's always sending me because he's always grinding. And I just go through my little beat Rolodex, and I heard the track and I was like, "Whoa, this is very Oakland," which is where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about wanting to have like a really West Coast kind of sounding vibe, because again,
Mm-hmm.
that goes back to, my balance now. I'm pretty much bi-coastal.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let's get that in there. You got Brother George.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just a live wire. You're just live all the time. Just
I gotta be, baby. We live right now. You feel me? No. Yeah, but no, I think it's about being present, and then I think it makes your art more true. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have this acronym that I like really live by right now, and it's HOT. HOT, honest, open, and truthful. I feel
Mm.
like if you apply that in your life, personally, privately, publicly, professionally, you're going to get more of the result that I think you want than we sometimes get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just what it is. And then one of my new mantras, I heard Dave Chappelle, excuse me, say, when he received the Mark Twain Award, he's like, "Be kind to everyone and be fearless."
Yes.
And I'm like, I always say take your negative energy and make it positive, but it's all the same thing. It's like,
Yes.
do right by people, treat others as you would want to be treated, or treat others as they should be, treated. Like be kind to individuals and just show love, and do right, and just say, and go for it. Go
Yes.
for it.
You inspire me so much. Like seriously, you really
Oh,
do. Yeah.
likewise. Thank you so much.
Give me your top five. Your top five spitters.
Right now, top five. However, okay. Rhapsody, Biggie, Tupac, Lauren, Jadakiss.
And give me top three inspirations that inspire you artistically.
Ah,
Well, not necessarily artistically, just in general, because you can flip that into art.
that's what I was like. So actors or
Matter. Whoever inspires you the greatest.
okay, Angela Bassett, Meryl Streep, and Delroy Lindo right now.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
See, this
yeah.
is what I'm saying. I don't want to just answer the like. I got to think about this stuff because I want to really. It's a lot of people out there that inspire me.
You know, in all honesty, when you said Delroy Lindo, I see a similarity between you as it relates to artistic delivery.
I'm gonna tell
You're
you
like,
something privately when we get off this call about that, but I can't say
yeah,
it on here. But yeah,
okay. Like I could see you and him playing mother and daughter. I mean, sorry, mother and daughter, father and daughter in a production, and it'd be like insatiably.
wait till I tell you what I got to tell you. I'm gonna just leave it at
Oh
that.
wow, wow. 'Cause as soon as you said his name, I was like, that's the counterpart. That's like I can see you two. You're symbiont.
Wait till I tell you what I got to tell you.
Now,
That's
now I'm
all I'm
really
gonna say.
excited.
That's all I'm gonna say. God is good. Yeah.
Any directing and producing in your future? I could see you
Hell
doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see you doing
Listen,
that.
the whole season of The Shy, I shadowed every director.
Yes.
When I
That's
wasn't on set, if I was not physically shooting, like in the scene, I was right up underneath the directors. All those
so.
directors were
Tony,
fantastic. Yeah.
Rashad Green, you know
Hmm.
him, met him. Was that your first time meeting him?
That was my first time meeting him, first time
Yeah,
working
he's
with
so
him.
dope.
And yeah, I had
Him
heard
and
of
his
him
brother.
before. Oh,
Yeah,
brother too. Oh, dope.
yeah, he has a brother, Ronaldo.
Mm,
They make films. They're phenomenal,
awesome. That
phenomenal.
was the first time that I had met him. As I said, I had heard of him before, but he was
Hmm.
great. I mean, intense, like in the best possible way, just
Yeah.
wanting to get what you need. But that was
Hmm.
episode 2.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So again, really early in my process. But yeah, I was there. I was present. And there would be
Yeah.
times when I would get finished at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night and they were still shooting till 1 in the morning. Guess
Hmm.
what? Like, for instance, the scene with Luke James and Jasmine when they're in the club,
Yes.
okay, and they come out into the street and everything like that. I
Yes.
was watching while they were shooting that scene. I was in the back in the club next to Ernesto.
Wow.
Yo, you better
Wow.
believe it. And it was
And
late
that was
too. And
powerful. That was a powerful
yeah,
scene. That whole segment was powerful.
exactly. And the guy who played opposite of Luke James, his forgive me, his name, I'm losing it at the moment, but I had met that actor before. He was in
Hmm.
Kinky Boots,
Okay.
and I
The
was familiar
movie.
with. He was in the play, but not the one on excuse me, not the one on Broadway. I think he was like in a touring
Okay.
production. But I had met
Okay.
him before, so it was really cool to just see him, on set and he's playing this part. And I'm like, wow, here we go, leaping from the theater, to doing this television and film. So I was just
Mhm.
proud of him to see him, still on his journey. That was dope. But yeah, hell yeah, producing, directing. Oh yeah, let's go.
I can't wait.
I mean, with some
Lady.
of my music videos, I have a hand in the directing and a hand in the producing. I'm independent, so I
Yeah.
handle all of mine. Yeah,
And one thing I noticed about you, even when we were together and we did our first interview,
yeah.
how you're so focused and you're particular about your vision and how you see things. And I thought that then I was like, oh, she would make a great producer and director, like because of
Thank
your
you,
vision.
yo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny when I had auditioned for Yale. I had to have like a meeting, and this is like after I had done my monologues and everything. And the head of the program at the time, who was auditioning me, he said, "You just have to get very specific about everything that you're doing, really honing in." And I was like, "Wow, that's that's really poignant, and I can
Hmm.
apply that to my everyday life because sometimes we just do shit, you're just doing stuff, but
Hmm.
it's like don't procrastinate one and get specific.
Hmm.
Again, it's about those results. We need those results
That's
to
right.
come out the way we want them to, So
Dude, and the people
yeah,
that really aren't in the zone that don't possess that as well, you'll be an
yeah,
asshole to them. They'll be your worst enemy because
that's
you're not
it.
and you're not specific. You don't get it.
You
Yeah.
listen, and procrastination is real. Listen, when I get a bill, because I try to pay my bills in advance, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. If I get an audition, they ask me to tape, I'm on it.
That's right.
I got a
That,
blue wall like in my crib. Like I'm on it. I'm not wasting time.
that's
You
right.
know?
That's
That's where
right.
we have to be. Yeah.
So how is auditioning for you? Are you a good audition person, or is that something that's, a headache?
I
Because for a
think
lot of
it,
actors, it's a headache.
yeah, for sure. One of the best parts that I love about auditioning is meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, that can still be like, a little scary. You can get a little anxiety. But I think if we just kind of let that go and say, look, you're meeting new people for the first time. They really want you to be good. You know what I mean? Like it helps their day go by quicker, and it's more pleasurable for them. So come in, breathe, believe, just chill. Hopefully if you have technique or whatever it is that you have to get you through, you rely on that, and you go in there, you do what you got to do. So I feel like the more prepared you are, the more relaxed you're going to be. It's when you're
Mm-hmm.
unprepared that you're like, oh fuck, who's the casting director, who am I going in for? Know all the details. you
Mm-hmm.
know you could take time and read what the details are. Just, and again, that's being specific. Who
Mm-hmm.
are the casting directors? Who am I going in for? What's the name of the show? Who are the other actors that have already been booked, that's
Right.
going to be in the show? Just so you have references. And that's what you need. So I think I'm a good auditioner.
Good.
Um i i try to go in off book, um be really present, and I'm not going to say like sometimes I don't experience a little bit of anxiety or whatever, that just happens,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes based off of the project. I was a little stressed during the shot. I was like, am I going to get it? What's going on? What's the holdup? You get to a call back, you see other people, you're like, fuck, so it's not just me that looking at you, like, it's, you don't know, so you just got to show up and do your best. And I've messed up, in auditions, but I do my best to make sure that I don't repeat those mistakes.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
And I,
So,
I would also add, when people are going on auditions and the people that you meet, it's best to actually pull in who they are and retain information, because just because you have that audition and you didn't make it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end. Because
okay,
I've
let's
heard of
talk about it.
situations, there's situations where the person that they may have wanted didn't make out.
I'm
And
gonna tell
then,
you a situation right now.
come on.
Okay, so Carmen Cuba, the first time that I auditioned for her was for a Terrell Alvin McCraney project.
Mm-hmm.
I had to send in a tape. You know, it went very well. They showed me a lot of love. They brought me in. I auditioned for the show. It was a great audition. I felt really good. I think they felt, really good based off of their response. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up not getting that part for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it don't have nothing to do with you.
That's
You
right.
know, there are other things that we don't have control over. So basically, I ended up not getting that, but then I get another call from Carmen Cuba moving forward. That was the laundromat audition. I ended up booking that. Now, if you've seen the laundromat, it's on Netflix. Meryl really does her thing. She's the lead in this.
Yeah.
And, I have an opportunity where I have a scene with Jeffrey Wright, and she just happened to be on set, like watching me one day and just showed me so much love. But um, anyway, so I end up booking the laundromat. I mean, I was going to say I was going to say it's a small part, but then I was going to say there's no small parts, blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
I have one scene, okay? And I knew like that I was establishing a rapport with Carmen because of the work that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, she calls me in for something else. I end up not getting that. The next audition I get for her is The Shy.
And
Every
here we
time I
are.
go in for this woman, I got to be better and better and better and better and better.
That's right.
Doesn't mean you're going to get the part, but you got to go in there and you got to be better than the best. Like you got to crush it. This is just what
That's
it
right.
is, and for you,
And let's
for
go
you.
back. Let's go back to the laundromat where you just had one scene. in a
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh production. In a
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh production alongside Meryl Streep and Jeffrey Wright. One scene.
One
Sometimes that's all
scene.
you need.
That's
That's
all you
all you
need.
need.
That's all
That's
you
all you
need.
need.
Yeah.
Sis, I thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. And you know I got mad
Likewise.
love for you. Mad
You
love for
already
you.
know. You
And
already know. We
anything
got
you
to
need
do
to
it again.
funnel through, talk to, get out there, you know I'm here for you. And we're
Most
gonna have
definitely.
a night show too, because I want your music in our rotation. Seriously.
Let's do it. You already know. I appreciate the love all day.
That's right. That's right. Miriam A. Hyman, everybody, aka Robyn Hood. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Robyn Hood Music. That's Robin with a Y. And then you can also hit me up on Twitter at Miriam A. Hyman. So, yeah, come check out what I'm doing.
That's right. God bless us. And
Thank
keep
you.
killing them. Keep killing them.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, if I hold my fist up too high, you can't see it. So I'm going to bring it right here. We out here. Tune into the Shy on Sunday. It's going to be a great episode.
Absolutely. See
All
you.
right. Peace.